Section 3.6, Amortization, Video 2. We will cover the following objectives: calculate loan payments, create amortization schedules. Example 2. Ching-Chi wants to purchase a $475,000 home. She will need a 20% down payment. Her lender has offered her a mortgage with an interest rate of 6% for 30 years. A. What is the amount of the down payment? B. What is the amount of the mortgage? C. What is Ching-Chi's monthly mortgage payment? D. Find the first 3 lines of Ching-Chi's amortization schedule. So, for part A, we need to find the down payment. In order to do that, we need the amount of purchase times the percentage of the down payment that will be in decimal form, and that will equal the down payment amount. So the amount of purchase is $475,000 times a down payment of 20% converted to decimal form, and that will equal $95,000. So the down payment amount is $95,000. Part B. What is the amount of the mortgage? To find the amount of the mortgage, we must take the amount of purchase and subtract the down payment amount we just found. And that will be the amount of the mortgage. So the amount of purchase is $475,000 subtracted by the down payment amount, which is $95,000, which equals an amount of mortgage as $380,000. So the amount of mortgage is $380,000. Part C, we have to find Ching-Chi's monthly mortgage payment. Please note she has an interest rate of 6% and her term of her loan is for 30 years. So for Part C, we have a principal amount of $380,000. Notice this is the amount of the mortgage, not the purchase price. We need to multiply that by a rate of 6% converted to decimal form. She has monthly payments, so M is 12. There are 12 payments in a year. For the denominator, we have 1 minus the quantity 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12, all raised to the negative 12 times 30 power. Here, time is 30 years. Again, M is 12 for monthly payments. Multiplying 380,000 times 0.06 divided by 12 gives us 1,900. Calculating the denominator, we get 0.833958. Please note that we do not round until the final solution. However, for the purposes of this video, I am giving you the first 6 digits of the denominator. Dividing 1,900 by 0.833958, we have Ching-Chi's monthly payment as $2,278.30. We always round up when we are calculating payments. We need to ensure that the whole loan is paid for. So, Ching-Chi's monthly payment is $2,278.30. Part D, we need to complete the first 3 lines of Qingqi's amortization schedule. So first, we need some information. We need to find how to get the interest charged, the amount towards principal, and how to find the new principal balance. In order to find the interest charge, we take the new principal balance and multiply that by the interest rate times 1/12 to represent 1 month's interest out of a year. And this equation will give us the interest charged. We also need to find the amount towards principal. In order to do that, we take the payment amount subtracted by the interest charged, and that gives us the amount that goes towards principal. We also need to find the new principal balance. So we take the previous principal balance, subtract the amount that went towards principal, to find the new principal balance. So one thing to note, the payment amount will always be the same, and in this case, Qingqi's payment amount is $2,278.30. It is the amount that we found in Part C. Also, the starting principal balance will be $380,000, which is found in Part B. It is the amount of the mortgage. So we'll put this as the starting principal balance. So to find the first line of our amortization schedule, we take our new principal balance, which is $380,000, times the interest rate of 6% converted to decimal form, times 1/12. This gives us 380,000 times 0.06 times 1/12 equals 1,900. So the interest charge for the first payment would be 1,900. The amount that goes towards principal, you start with the payment amount, which is $2,278.30, subtract the interest charged, which gives us an amount towards principal as $378.30. So we have $378.30. For the new principal balance, we take the previous principal balance, which is $380,000, subtracted by the amount that goes towards principal, which is $378.30. That gives us a new principal balance of $379,621.70. So we have $379,621.70. That completes the first line of our amortization schedule. For the second line of our amortization schedule, we start with the new principal balance, which is $379,621.70, multiply by the interest rate of 0.06 times 1/12. That gives us an interest charged of $1,898.11. So $1,898.11. For the amount that goes towards principal, we take our payment amount, which is $2,278.30, minus $1,898.11 to get the amount that goes towards principal as $380.19. So $380.19. For the new principal balance, we take the previous principal balance, which is $379,621.70, minus the amount that went towards principal, which is $380.19, which gives us a new principal balance of $379,241.51. So we have $379,241.51. Now we have one more line of our amortization schedule. We start with a new principal balance, which is $379,241.51 times 0.06 times 112. That gives us interest charged of $1,896.21. So it's $1,896.21. For the amount towards principal, we take the payment amount, which is $2,278.30, minus the interest charged, which is $1,896.21. That gives us amount towards principal as $382.09. So $382.09. For the new principal balance, we start with the previous principal balance, which is $379,241.51, minus the amount that went towards principal, which is $382.09. This gives us a new principal balance of $378,859.42. So again, that's $378,859.42. Now, notice something. For the interest charge, every month the interest charge should be decreasing. For the amount going towards principal, the amount should be increasing as more payments are made. For the new principal amount, that should be decreasing as each payment is made. For the payment amount, each payment amount will stay the same. This concludes example 2.